all right. The time has come because we've got a one, we've got a two,
A dose.
and it looks like the microphones are working. All right,
All right. Woo!
Welcome back to the TrutherCast, home of the TrutherCast, and we are here to take your Truther order, which, might involve, maybe a little bit of JFK, maybe a little bit of pyramids. I don't know, man. It was a little bit of a slow week, in my humble opinion, but, we got some things to break down and go on through, right?
Yeah, we could probably go on about the pyramid thing to connect to all other pyramids and all that for probably 2 hours in and of itself, if we really went down the rabbit hole.
Right. We could probably fill up the whole damn show with that BS, right? Like,
yeah, we like pointy objects. Autism. Engage.
I like tinfoil hat, old magical megalithic things where they might have been an energy generator, but like nobody actually knows, but there's a whole bunch of speculative evidence for it.
Yeah, right. Also, are you aware of the whole I forget the name of the experiment, but this guy, it was like a hollow pyramid, and apparently he put razor blades in this pyramid structure, and they just get sharper. You just leave them in there, and the longer you leave them in there, the sharper they get, just because it's in the pyramid.
I do believe I have heard of this. Yeah.
Like, what?
Right. There's so many wild things, like the Beatles wings that you put them on a platform and then you can just like hover, float around. And there's like all kinds of photos from the 50s of people doing this, like 5 of them, 10 of them.
Hover, float around? What?
Yeah, the scarab beetle, that thing that's like all over the hieroglyphs of Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy took all those wings and then put them on a platform and a stick, and then he could like float around like it was freaking Back to the Future.
Oh, like I thought you were saying like the wings just like floated. So you just like put their wings on this thing,
like a whole bunch of
them, and it basically does like some little
anti-gravity.
Like
it's vibrational, something.
So the UFOs are just Beetlemobiles.
So, if you're not familiar with the show, we are attempting to not just be, 2 more dudes out there on the interwebs complaining. What we're all about here, folks, is building a better news feed. So, we are going to go through my mass stash of insights feed here over at the Locals community, which you can get to. Go into that link in the description box down below at thelocals.massstash.com. If you're typing it in, that's 3 S's in a row. There's 4 in the whole word, but just use the link in the description box there. You can Google Mass Stash too, it'll come right up, or TrutherCast, it'll come right up. But we're gonna go through that, and we like to highlight the people that we find this news from, because we're very much into the independent journalists, the citizen journalists, alternate news, you might call it, the old news they call it. People tell me
non-fake.
We're very much into that, folks. So I like promoting that and not just being like, hey, watch us and only us, because there's a whole bunch of other people out there. So, how do you get all this information? It's about building a better news feed. Legacy media is out, folks, and also spoon-fed media is out, folks. So make sure to, put a little effort in, right? I was talking to my stepdad this week, and it's pretty cool. He found the 1440 newsletter, which is really neat because it's like tries to be unbiased and gives you like little bit of like quick takes on the headlines kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then he found Tangled, which sounds a lot like Ground News. So I pointed him to Ground News to check that out too.
Ground News, I believe, is like the number one. It's like the Nike of the filtering the news crap.
So he said that Tangle claims they're like the number one. And I was like, oh, okay, well, check this Ground News out and tell me which one's better, because they claim that too.
Like, that's funny, because I have yet to hear. This is the first time I am hearing about Tangle
I've never
News.
heard of Tangle, yeah.
Yeah.
People tell me that they're the best. I don't know. It's just like Revival Tech, who is the sponsor of today's show. So if you got a computer, you can help the lights stay on by clicking on signup.toleratetech.com down below in that description box, because if you got a computer, I would love to help you protect that shit and help you not be pissed off at it. So, if you got a couple bucks and you'd like to have a little bit better peace of mind with your tech, check that on out there. Open it up in a tab, check it out later, or, maybe as we peruse these things in the show and you just listen or something like that. But, check that signup.toleratetech.com. down below. And I would love to be your like-minded tinfoil hat, computer tech guy. It's more fun when you're like-minded.
Yeah, if you got a computer and you need help, and maybe you're just lonely, you can sign up for that, and Scott will talk with you. He will definitely talk with you for a while. Sometimes, most of the time. So you will not be lonely with your tech. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes,
That's how
don't
that
be
goes.
lonely.
You won't be
Very
lonely
often-
talking to Scott.
Very, very often it is like the hairstylist thing where I end up being like a psychiatrist of some sort.
Yeah, the hairstylist, the bartender.
Right.
What other ones do they always end up we just console with?
Right.
Maybe it's just
Those
because
are two main.
maybe it's just because we're humans and we want to socialize, which is weird because I thought I was a hermit. Yet you go to these places and you end up socializing. It's a trap. It's a trap. Run.
Look out. It's a trap. Welcome back to the show, Trolley. Trolley made it to the show here, folks. We got Wilkinsane in the chat as well. What is up, everybody? Make sure if you're hanging out here watching live as well, that you signed in and made your Rumble account, because then you two can chat down there in the live chat. We all love trying to help Trolley find awareness because he just likes talking crap. So that's something you can do in the live chat. But what we really love is to hear what you thought was interesting from last week that needs more awareness. Something that you might want, a take on or something maybe. But don't forget to check out that live chat or just comment down below if you're watching in the replay. Later.
Yeah, Wilkinson has got a good point. Tangle does sound like one of them dating apps.
Right.
There's Hinge, Bumble. Ooh, I'm bumbling with you. Oh, I'm stuck to you like a hinge. I want to
I
date
just making
you.
fun of that one earlier, like a second ago?
Yeah. I give you 0 stars on the Bumble review.
Yeah.
There
I'm telling you, bro.
are there actual reviews that you like? Could you review somebody that apparently you dated?
I'm just
that
talking
would be
shit.
interesting.
I'm just talking shit. But my recommendation for the single person, I'm like, like ghetto married, so don't listen to me. But I keep telling him, I'm like, Dan, all I'd be like is like, yo, do you believe in Trump? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in anti-communism? Bet we can date. And then, or like at the date. And then, if she does not works out and she says she doesn't like any of those, cool, man. Do you want to like continue just having a nice evening? And then, maybe not talk to each other anymore because you don't like any of my like top 5 things, right? And then if she says, no, I'm just going to lose my mind or like have like a, TDS meltdown now because I said the word Trump. I'll be like, that's cool, man. I'll leave right now. And I'll just leave you a bad review on the Bumble thingy, right? I don't know if there's reviews, but I'll make sure people know.
Yeah.
Like, I'll make sure.
Yep. If anybody is out there and is a marriage counselor that's watching this, what advice would you give somebody that has been with someone for 14 years and engaged for 7, and they just don't really want to like either like really take it to the next step, which is either moving in, getting married, whatnot.
Move the F out. Let's move that.
What could be going on there? Thoughts below.
Man, I meant to I meant to like record it and clip it and send it to you. But I was watching an Alex Hormozy, and the guy was like, "Hey man, what do you recommend? I'm like a hardcore entrepreneur. I'm all about my business. Blah blah blah. I got this girl that we're like been like internet dating or like distance dating or something. But like, what do I do because she's like a regular worker chick and I do this entrepreneur shit." And he was like, "Bruh, just like fly her in and have her live with you for a few weeks. And if she doesn't like it, then like, see you later." And he was like, "Oh," and he's like, "Yeah, like, so you don't want to like give any of that up for the relationship or anything?" And he's like, "Nah, like I'm building my business." And he's like, "Yeah, cool. Fly her in, have her live with you. If she doesn't like how you live, then cool. Like, see you later."
It's like one of the
like, yeah, that's easy.
It's like one of the products with the whatever guarantee. Like, yeah, you can get your money back. If you don't, if
He's
you're
all
not
about the
satisfied,
guarantee.
you ship her back if she's not satisfied.
Yeah. He said, "Try before you buy, baby." Like, he's like, I was like, yeah, 100%, bro.
Yeah.
Like, why are we even overthinking all this?
I mean,
baloney,
it seems kind of logical. Yeah.
It's tricky, bro. Homie with a chick for 14 and they're like engaged for 7 sounds ridiculous, but
What is hanging it up? I
Yeah.
know, like,
Well, if one person wants it and the other doesn't, then it's ridiculous or difficult.
but
Because
why?
I've
But
been with my
why
girl
then?
for like 14, but neither of us are really in a rush to do anything like very officially committable.
Yeah.
Clearly, we're committed.
Yeah, that's
Like, we don't need to bring ink and paper into this. Like,
yeah. The ink and paper's one thing, but it's like, living together is a whole nother thing. And when
they're
like
not living together for 14 years. That's wild.
no,
Very
no.
interesting.
Yeah,
Complicated.
people. There's all sorts of paintings under the sun, as we could say. I'm painting the picture of the relationship.
Maybe one of the things we uncover this week will help uncover that mystery as well.
And maybe we gotta get them both under a pyramid, and then they'll just magically
something tuning fork, vibrational healing.
Yep. Oh, I got it. Just gonna oh crap, drawn a blank on it. What is it? Hypnotize.
Yeah, hypnosis therapy.
Yeah. Just hypnosis her, and then you can just live the rest of your life knowing that they're hypnotized. What would she feel at the end of that? That'd be like that.
Yeah,
what was it? 50 First Dates, that Adam Sandler movie where wake up every day just like, yeah, like, okay, I'm with you. Cool.
Yeah,
little did you know.
You should just hypnotize her. Hypnotize her with GHB. Wait, that's different.
These are jokes.
Cosby her.
These are jokes. We do not condone this behavior.
Well, that just makes me think,
drug people.
That just makes me think of my favorite Superbad joke, bro. Where it's like, yeah, Jules, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. The thing is, my back is on my.
Talk about Bill Cosby. I probably brought it up last week. Still, my favorite meme of Bill Cosby is with Conor McGregor, where he has. I don't know if it is Bill Cosby's sweater or he just got one that looked just like it somehow. And they're like, "Where'd you get the sweater?" "Oh, from the best knockout artist in the game." Yeah. Yep. Hey, is Bill Cosby still in jail? Probably.
I'm pretty sure he got out, bro.
Oh, I guess money probably does that, right?
That was like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Man, the Rumble app got updated, but then now it's acting janky on my phone. I can't tap into the message box.
Yeah. Last week I again couldn't comment. So this week I don't know if I will even try.
Does it work like this?
90-degree flip totally will fix it. That would be a really interesting bug in the coding. That is weird. The coding.
I have commented.
I wonder if the coding guy has any awareness of that. We should bring it to his realization. If you hear what I'm saying,
I've brought a lot of things.
And the only way we can get him to see this is if you don't be a hoe and you share the show.
Yeah, there you go.
We need more people to come aware and realize the awareness they are not aware of.
Dan's got the free way to share that show or to like help the show.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like we should probably make this go viral, right? So this John Mark Pierce lawyer just received a legal letter from the lawyers of the Soros-affiliated Hopewell Fund and 1630 Fund demanding that who was this? That they delete. Oh, it's Laura Loomer, yeah. That she deletes and retracts her exclusive X report about the funding of the violent Tesla takedown protest, in which she ratioed Reid Hoffman in a post documenting how his donations to Soros-tied Hopewell Fund may have made its way into the Sunrise MVMT, so like movement, groups that are vandalizing Tesla showrooms across the nation. I don't know if it was a re-coverage or another one, but another man lit himself on fire trying to burn things on like Tesla vehicles on fire.
It's amazing. They need to start putting warning labels on flammable stuff, just like
on Molotov cocktails,
like McDonald's coffee. Beware, you might burn yourself.
Yeah, they should.
If you're an idiot, don't know how to use it. But I mean, that's what happens when you. That's just karma fighting right back. real time, right away.
So I don't think Laura's gonna buckle because she's kind of like a a spicy chick out there in the journalistic-y X space and stuff like that. So I would like to see her not buckle, and then them not bring her to court because
I don't get
it's probably all true.
I don't get how they could.
You know what I mean? So they tried to send her a cease and
Like
desist.
maybe defamation, but other than that, what laws would
Right.
she be breaking with that?
Well, if it's like they're fake things, then it's defamation, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Yeah,
Or even if you don't like it, if you sue it, it's still gonna get like Streisand affected. So usually that's why it's like you don't see him like Has anybody sued anyone for calling Michael Obama a man?
has anybody sued the people that are talking about Hunter Biden's laptop?
Well, yeah, that one guy.
Did one guy actually do it?
Remember he dropped the whole book about it, and we covered it last week or two. And then he's
I guess
winning
I'm
the
drawing a
case,
blank.
and then Hunter's trying to now wiggle out of it and say like, "Oh, we don't need to like finish this case now, but we should close this case without prejudice." So now they're on. So our side's on the offense. The guy that made the book that exposed the whole laptop, and so now they're saying, "No, no, no. We're gonna continue the case here, or we're gonna close the case with prejudice, so you can't sue us again." So he literally did try suing the person that put a book out of all of the Hunter laptop,
Hmm.
and then is failing, and then ran off to what was it, South America or South Africa or something like that? South
Hunter
Africa.
going to okay. That's what that. I didn't even realize that was what was
Two
going
separate
on.
stories. So
Yeah.
it was the dude that dropped the book first,
Yeah.
and then the next we see Hunter
I
popped up in
I
South
thought it was
Africa.
another case, not that case.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Yeah, there were like two separate stories, but like it's now connected kind of thingy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he dipped out of there so he could be like, oh, case is over, guys. I'm busy. I'm like over and
just in case. It's almost like he felt that Trump was going to void his pardon.
I know, right? What's the extradition down to South Africa?
Yep. Running.
I just think it'd be crazy if he got tied up with those crazy bastards that are killing all the white farmers out there.
All right. Yeah.
That'd be a bummer.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but generally it's only the guilty that be running. And he went to running.
Seems kind of guilty, man.
Seems a little sus.
But I think it's pretty interesting that the Laura Loomers getting some heat for putting this story up because it seems like there's a lot of volition to this, in my humble opinion. It very much seems like the Soros groups are getting funded through that USAID money and whatnot, bro. And then that money is getting funneled back to Democrats or into these activist organizations.
Yeah. Especially the protesters that say they're getting paid to stand out there and protest the
And
Tesla
the Reid
dealership.
Hoffman.
But so many of these people they're just faffoing, and it's too bad for them. One guy throwing the Molotov cocktail into the Tesla dealership.
Mm-hmm.
Like how how stupid do you have to be? Think you're gonna get away with this? Like what you're accomplishing?
They put a few in jail, right?
They've changed it from Orange Man bad to Rocket Man bad.
Right. And all it is Trump derangement, bro. That's why the stock went down. The stocks went down just because of Trump derangement.
Mm.
And then they're starting to rally a little bit now too. So it's
Like
also like
specifically like his stock or just
all stocks
in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everything went down, so they're all saying like, "Oh look, his tariffs, the tariffs." It's like, dude, it's been like a week, dog. Like, relax.
And
this
that,
is like
that's
normal.
That's what's gonna happen when a company has to basically shut down operations to continue operations back in the U.S. Like they're not gonna be producing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Stocks are gonna take a little bit of hit, but the aftermath is going to be stocks go bing, bing, boom.
Net positive, they call it.
Yeah. We can only wait and see for the people to learn.
Good things take time. It takes time for good things. Just hold on, folks.
Yep.
Like getting rid of that Department of Education takes time.
Yeah.
I thought this was
Illinois is actually all up in they're posting about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to be like, look, people, we got to get like Trump's taking all of our funding, this and that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, I mean, sucks. So
Yes,
bye-bye.
also your whole shtick is he's bad and we don't like him. So you always got to post anything about all that BS, I guess, right?
Well, when you're a democratic state, what left are you
Right,
to do?
right. Um, President Trump stuns America by bringing the Declaration of Independence into the Oval Office. Like, so was this maybe a thing before, but then it got like played out, so then they haven't done it?
Was it not anywhere in the White House, or was it in the
He
White
says
House and just
Oval
not? That's what
Office,
I'm like
so
wondering if it was in the White House somewhere
and this
other
is
than
the
that.
original?
I would sure hope so. But if it wasn't anywhere in the White House at all before, shame on them.
A
Like,
little
that's
bit,
a
right?
big, important document for what makes us the nation we are today.
But would explain why things seem like they have forgotten the Constitution at the same time, I suppose, right?
Yeah, yep.
But yeah, it's like the original, bro, because he was like, it's got to be behind the curtains, the light will mess it up, they say. But I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I don't think that's just for presentation purposes. That's a permanent curtain rod right there. Oh, let me every once in a while.
Is that a picture of the Gulf of
Oh
America?
yeah, every once in a while at lunch, I like to just pull the curtain back, take a little peek, let it know it's gonna be okay, and then
And I drew this picture of
tuck
the
it
Gulf
back
of
in.
America to let Apple know how it's supposed to look, how I want it to look.
I just love how so many people are up in arms about this.
Oh, I forgot. I was gonna maybe download the Trump simulator. There's a Trump simulator 2025, and it was pretty entertaining. It wasn't hella woke or anything. It was entertaining.
Like, what's it really?
You can nuke people, and you can get hamburgers, and you can hit the Diet Coke button, and then you can run on a treadmill and
So it's like
fart and lose
you
weight.
are as Trump behind
Trump
the desk.
simulator.
Okay.
Yeah, you can jump in a Cybertruck and kind of like fly around and try and make it into hoops, and it was semi entertaining. You can raise the taxes on the American population.
Wow.
You can siphon money that's being sent over to Ukraine.
I mean, I don't get the raising taxes on Americans.
That's just a thing you can do because you're president.
I was going to say,
lower
you
and
can
raise
do that
taxes.
when you're a bad king, yeah, in the game. But unfortunately, as we know, so unfortunate, Trump is all about cutting taxes.
Yeah, they were talking more about that no taxes for under 150K today, and he did kind of backtrack it a little bit, or not backtrack, but clarify, and it was a little backtracky because a week or two ago, we covered that. I forget the guy's name, I haven't memorized it, but one of his finance guys that's on the team, he was doing an interview, and he said, "Yeah, well, I know one of Trump's goals is no taxes for everyone like under 150K." So then he got asked about it again, and he was like, "Yeah, that got taken real out of context. Like, I'm just saying, like, when we hit a balanced budget, then one of the things Trump said that he'd maybe want to do, it would be great, is like, waive taxes for anyone under 150K. So first timeline goal, get to balanced budget.
Yeah.
And then maybe don't have people pay taxes that are not making more than 150K.
Basically, we got to get back to where we are profiting. And then once we can do that, the middle class can really start thriving if you cut taxes for the middle class.
So it takes the buzz off of it a little bit, but like, hey, still, something that Trump said. So, maybe let's not lose too much hope, I suppose. What do we got here? 100% agree. I say all the time that the system wants us to not talk religion and politics. So we're here less informed and separated by core values we never learned to discuss properly. That's why my dumbass advice is like, if I was single, I'd just open up with like, what's your religion and what's your politics? You don't like mine? Next.
Which is weird when you look up the statistics. It's like somewhere right around 50 to 60% of couples have total opposite views in their politics.
Or 60% of the
don't know.
couples that took the survey.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know where they took and how they got informed of this survey.
Because the ones that agreed were out busy doing shit together instead of taking an effing survey. I don't know. It's just a theory.
I was thinking, like, when I read that, like, yeah, like, where does this, do you get random surveys in email? Where do people be taking these surveys?
Well, that's what all
how
those
do they get
conservative
presented with them?
That's what all
I've
those-
never gotten really presented with some random survey of it.
Right. That's what all those conservative people say is like all the polls are always skewed because no one's calling them conservatives, and then none of us are home to answer the phone because we're too busy working or going to a kid's game or something like.
So they can really skew the data.
So it's just loser Democrats with no job chilling at home being angry at Trump on the TV.
Yeah. They told me to be mad. I am mad. Blah. Orange man bad.
Yeah, so this is just like, a little post thing. Being taught to avoid talking about politics and religion has led to a lack of understanding of politics and religion. What we should have been taught was how to have civil conversations about a difficult topic. Amen. And that's what we are all about here on the dang TrutherCast, folks. All about having a fun civil conversation.
Yeah, I like how it says being taught to avoid talking about politics and religion has led to a lack of understanding. Oh, really? So you don't talk about something, and then all of a sudden you lack understanding of it. Really? Oh, it really took Sherlock Holmes to figure that one out.
It's like talking about stuff brings more awareness.
Yep. That's why we're here, and people need to keep coming back. Get some awareness, get some realization, folks.
Hell yeah, man. Share this to your...
And whatever you want realization and awareness of, if we're not covering it, comment.
They got the data
hit
from
it
Tangle.
in the live chat below. I see that.
That was good. That was good, Wilkinson. That's where they got that poll data, huh? Tangle says
Tangle.
Everybody's pissed at each other.
I feel like we should make an app right now. Like, we're going to have to make that a little side project.
Christian Mingle.
People tangled.
But make sure it's not tango.
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we should just make like a TrutherCast.
I mean, we could also, if people, that could also probably be an app. You like to tango and you want to find other people to tango with? Find other people in your area that want to tango.
See, the problem is you just need like mass consumption of all the things. And then what sucks is just like everything now. So why dating apps are failed? I've heard or whatever. Like I'll listen to some of this bullshit just to know about it for no reason. But it's another one where they're incentivized by you not actually being happy. So like for the dating app to make more money, you need to be not happy and still using and needing the dating app. So they should really just charge you hundreds of dollars to find somebody. And then the company could be profitable for an actual solution where you're like, oh, cool. I can just shut my account down.
Those are out there.
They do exist of some sort, you're saying?
Yeah. I forgot where I seen it, but it was
a headhunter.
It was a woman that like her service was professionally connecting people. And like she did it herself. It's like,
hell yeah.
You gotta what do you search Facebook somehow? You got a filtered Facebook database. Like I think this was actually before Facebook when she was doing it.
Anybody, bro, you get a system.
And it was just like, wow,
system, you sell it.
That is a crazy job to have.
Wait till you get that the cash flow quadrants, bro. The business is just the systems. You want to make a business, you just make a system, and then you teach other people how to do it, and then you have them do it, and then you sell it.
Yep. Systems are the only way you can get something working while you're not around there.
So she was like an HR
person. It knows what to do.
Probably said like, instead of working with businesses, I'm going to help connect people. Bang, bang. That's what's up.
Yeah, more than likely.
That makes sense to me. Yeah, so the melting pot of America sure does get tricky, right? Because everything's fine. Maybe having a bunch of Muslims praying to Allah and yelling Allah Akbar outside of the White House until, something crazy happens.
Yeah, normally the Allah Akbar is followed up by some explosive events.
Right. So they're like all outside the White House praying. I don't know what. Are they upset about Trump or something?
Right, yeah. The reason for it would be nice to know.
And
Like,
then I thought she had a
why?
funny
What's the reason for them doing this?
she had a snarky comment. If you told me 23 years after 9/11 we would be seeing Muslims waving Hamas flags and praying in Islamic prayer mats while shouting Allah Akbar outside of the White House, I would have said you're crazy. And then I saw it outside the White House last night. I agree. That's bonkers. We were racist AF after 9/11, bro.
Yeah, the whole country is. I felt bad for people with
Damn, you're
thick,
kind of
dark,
brown.
yeah, brown and thick dark beard trying to fly. They definitely got a lot of harassment back then. Probably still do a little bit till this day. You never know.
Which, if you ever seen any movie at all, you know, then the bad guys just shaved their face and brought all the bombs on the planes because, like, you know, they were like, we'll go have him get caught with beard, and then they'll all think they're looking for men with towel on head and beard. Then I'll shave my face, take towel off, and get all the bad things in.
Hey, way to beat the game. Shave the beard. Boom. New identity.
Like James O.
Yeah. Beard. I mean, shoot, that's definitely real, though. A lot of people are unrecognized. I can't imagine you without a beard. Have I known you without a beard at all? I don't think so.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, think so. Yeah. I didn't have no beard way back in the day.
I don't think I knew you back that far back.
Like back in the day when we first started hanging out.
Did you really not have a beard?
'Cause I didn't have no beard when I started dating my girl, and then she's the one that got me to get the job going with the like certified. So that was like a year or two after we were like together. So then it's only we've known each other for like 12 years.
Like I've seen pictures, but I don't feel like ever like in real life, like here.
I don't remember.
I just visualize Scotty with a beard.
Yeah, you know, it's become part of the identity. It's getting kind of long though. I need to make an appointment apparently with my hairstylist. Weird. 14 years, never had to make an appointment, and all of a sudden you got to make an appointment. Jiminy crickets.
Hey, that just means they're busy, you know. They're a wanted professional. Everybody wants something of their doing, you know. You got to get in line. No matter who you are, you got to get in line when they busy.
She does tell me funny stories of how like friends and long-term clients will call up and be like, "Yeah, so I was like looking online, and it looks like, you know, you're like fully booked all the way out for like a month or two." And she's like, "Uh-huh." She's like, "Cool. So like, are you gonna like be able to get me in like in the morning sometime?"
Try again. But like I got the in and no. Nope, sorry. Try again. Get in line.
Sorry. Like, you didn't even lead with like, so I've got all these cookies I need to get rid of, and like,
are you gonna pay like the other customers? Okay, I'll get in line.
Yeah, right. Like, I've got this roll of hundos. I'm like, I don't know what to do with them. Do you have any openings?
What else is
Dude, seriously, people boycotting buying a beer because they don't approve of the values it promotes with an endorser is way off from burn shit because a dude's cutting waste and funding.
I would say it's a little different there. Just a tad different.
So they're like, look at them over there overreact to, you know, and refuse to buy Bud Light. Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, I'm burning every Tesla to the ground.
And it's turning people into wild animals, man. These guys. And the best part is that they have all the cameras on the Tesla, so all these people are getting caught up.
Yeah.
It's like, so you hate the Tesla, yet you don't even know what the Tesla is or does.
Well, mostly Democrats bought Teslas, right? That was like always kind of.
That's what we thought. If you ask, you ask Andy, you're not a man if you own a Tesla. There's that little bit.
Right.
But hey, I hear it's the way to go if you doing DoorDash and Uber Eats and whatnot. That's the hack,
Yeah.
because you're not paying for the gas and you got a good range of charge. And you still have to pay for charge, but it saves you more pennies.
Yeah, dude, I never believe anything those people say because I've not met one yet that actually does all their numbers and then has continued to do it for years.
Right? Yeah. There's a whole lot of
Like
numbers
I
they
just stopped
don't,
listening to them. People.
actually configure into that. But there are actually a lot of people that do run the numbers, but generally they don't have a Tesla.
Sure. I'd be
Yeah,
curious because
it's always a
electricity is
regular
more
car
expensive than
doing it.
gas. I thought
Oh, I guess. Well, I don't know.
because blah
I
blah
don't.
range
I
or whatever.
I
Yeah,
don't know a Tesla. I don't know how much it takes for a charge. That would be a thing. Yeah,
or how
like,
shitty your car was before you got the Tesla and had a horrible gas mileage.
like that might be a good thing. Let's Google it really quick. On average, how much money does it cost to recharge a Tesla from empty to full?
Well, I don't Google anything anymore, so we'll grok it.
Yes, true. Google's for the boomers. What I have heard. This is why you come on the show. So you can see how things are done, which is just typing and asking questions. You can do it for yourself. It's an amazing thing.
Hell yeah. Ranges between 11 cents a kilowatt hour to 44 kilowatt hour, 44 cent. Model 3 is like 57 to 62 kilowatt hour.
So it's a little cheaper than filling, depending on what you drive. Definitely a little cheaper
Almost
or a
$11.
lot cheaper.
$14. What? To fill up the whole thing? Right, but then your range is what?
I think about 300 miles. About. Well, that also varies because if you're doing stuff in the cold, then it goes down.
Blah de blah, right?
It's closer. Wow, North Dakota energy is cheap.
Oh, too many numbers. Flip the camera all over. All right, so I said, what is the comparison on door dashing with my Honda Civic gas-powered car and compared to the Tesla Model 3? DoorDash drivers average 500 to 1,000. Gas 350 a gallon. Electricity 17, let's say. Blah, blah, blah. Give me the meat and the potatoes. Dan wanted the answer. $45 saved versus Civic? Slightly more expensive. Supercharging. Interesting.
Civic is 17 cents a mile. It's been a long time since I've even thought about breaking it down to cost per mile.
Yeah. Which is also some like young dumb shit, bro. Like we don't balance a checkbook no more, have no idea how much money's in our bank account. Like, what do you know?
Yeah.
We're all broke. And then nobody's doing like, my car gets this many miles per gallon.
Rich Dad Poor Dad talks about if you don't have a budget, basically, like he just knows you ain't rich. All the rich people have a budget.
So a used Civic LX 30K impacts initial investment but not operating cost. Home charging is ideal for Model 3. Without it, supercharging erases most savings. That's interesting. Civic's 400 plus mile range beats the Model 3's 272. Reducing downtime for refueling, charging, supercharging takes 15, 20, 30 minutes. First 5 minutes for gas. Yeah. EVs have higher tire wear due to weight. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. But lower overall maintenance because like brakes and blah blah blah. So it's a wash. Like that's dumb. It's the same.
And I love how all these Congress people, green activists, make the claim that they're so much better for our environment. I mean, nickels at a time, it sounds like, and that's as long as you're not supercharging it.
And
But
then
it's definitely not that big of a deal. Well, I love how everybody's talking about, oh, the Honda Civic. That Honda Civic they're talking about, the new one, probably gets near 30 miles a gallon. Back in the 80s, the Civics were making 45 to 50 miles to the gallon on gas, not diesel. Ain't even a Jetta TDI, a gas Civic back in the day. We have went back. I mean, the
annoying.
cars are faster, technically, and like can get you around a little easier, but they were much more fuel efficient back then. The cars were also smaller, but still,
is it
it's
because of
amazing.
emissions?
More than likely,
Like regulations or something?
Yeah, probably.
So that's stupid. More regulations make it less efficient.
It just shows when managing entities such as government or anything gets involved, things get inefficient, which is why we have Doge doing what they're doing, because
100%.
the government is not good at efficiency. They're great at spending the money they're given.
I threw the Civic Hybrid in for fun, and it did still say that the Tesla Model 3 home charging is the cheapest at 8.7 cents a mile. So it saves about $1,100 a year over the hybrid and $2,700 over the gas Civic. Oh, what? That changed it. It made it sound like it was pretty close before. But that is like clearly like the electric car is better.
Yeah. Well, it was basically the same with the supercharging, but the home charging.
Sure.
Is where you save it.
And it takes longer though, so
yeah.
Something, figure out your route to encapsulate that.
That's for those just using it to get back and home, or back and forth to home from work. That is.
Well, I was saying door dashing or some shit. Interesting. Cool. So here's your inside scuttlebutt of the week.
Scuttlebutt.
So if you're familiar with this space, it's a little bit of inside baseball, but that Harry Sisson guy, I'm pretty sure Trolley was dating him, right? him and Trolley were going out for a while there.
Probably more than likely.
I'm pretty sure Trolley was the bottom. Anyway, so this Harry Sisson guy is basically like paid, opposition, like full Democrat team. If you're not familiar, so he was big, like pushing, Joe Biden, and said that Joe Biden was amazing. They actually had this kid. This kid got to Piers Morgan somehow, bro. Like this kid was like getting around, bro. Like I don't understand. And then he also then just flipped and was all woo woo on like Kamala Harris. Like the guy seems like obviously paid. Allegedly, Laura Loomer found some like paperwork somehow that's like public domain that like he was like, actually paid. Like there was money put into his account from the, what was it? The campaign like marketing team or something. So indirectly, right? But it turns out that all these dirty Democrats, bro, are just full of hypocrisy. Just like Tisha James now, she's going down for fraudulent real estate valuation.
Oh, wow.
Now
didn't even realize that was such like a serious thing it could be.
That was the thing she was trying to get Trump for.
Yeah, that was the Mar-a-Lago thing, right? Yeah.
So she literally lied and said her building was a 4-unit when it's a 5 to try and get in for a loan qualifying metric. And then now we have Sisson over here, who's a loud, proud Democratic, ninny pants feminist.
Chill.
And he's just, being a total pig here. You got the other breakdown on it?
Oh, so pretty much this girl, I think her name's Hannah, ends up coming out saying, yeah, pretty much she whistle blew because she was salty because kind of got played by Harry. And so it wasn't necessarily anything illegal, I guess, on that bit. It was just apparently
Well, he was
he's
just
a
getting naughty photos from him and sending naughty
and because he
photos
was
and
saying like he
kind of being a
was only
pig.
talking to her, like playing the
Multiple
bad
women.
guy.
But then the
But
weird one was his friend was being like a pedo groomer perv,
yeah, he was talking to some like 14-year-old.
like handicapped kid.
I think has like some sort of disability, and I don't know why they're talking to him, but apparently
Allegedly.
there was some other guys of Harry Sisson's and this other dude's age that they came out saying that they were not friends with Harry, and then even talking about how Harry basically, like, long story short, scammed them. Uh, one he would pay. He was basically paying for friendship. He'd just send him like 2, 3, $500 like at different times, just
Yeah,
out of
weird.
nowhere. And then the kid shows up, sign a contract without really like reading it, and it was Harry gets percentages of all his TikTok views, or like the TikTok money if he actually gets some good views on his stuff, blah 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 blah. And
He was pimping him
he was
out,
like,
man.
wait, whoa, I didn't realize that was like in the contract. Like, come on, haven't you seen the South Park? Like, you should read the contract. Like, in the fine print, you could be signing your life away. But
You literally are often.
yeah. So Hannah was talking about how he pretty much just like played her. If there's any like legally
So the point is just the
wrongdoing,
hypocrisy here, right?
yeah, yeah, they're supposed to be some feminists, this and that. Yet he's being a womanizer, leading them on, giving them the wrong idea.
And he was the big
But
champion to like TikTok push for the Biden campaign,
yeah,
right?
yep. So that goes hand in hand with the feminist movement. So two dudes have now come out to basically publicly say, "Yo, we worked together at one point, but we are not friends. I do not associate with this guy because he got scammed." Oh, that's okay. Now I'm glad I remember now. So all these Democrats, even we thought it was just the older dudes, being creepy, going to Epstein Island and like liking the younger girls, this and that. So this dude that he was getting like brought into their team, you could say, uh, he said they were getting paid to go on this trip out to California somewhere, like that, basically just like, hey, free trip, just come along. And the kid was saying how he was told there was going to be two beds in the room, obviously, because they're both dudes and didn't know each other that well. They get down there, there's one bed. And so the kid's like, what? Why is there one bed? And Harry's like, oh, they must have just got it wrong. So the kid's like, well, I'm gonna sleep on the couch then. And then Harry kept talking about, dude, what? No, you're sleeping in the bed with me.
Oh,
Like,
that was
you
Harry? I thought this was like a story about someone else.
I thought it was here. Maybe it's the other guy
I think it was
in
the
the
other
story.
creeper guy that was like the scammer or something.
Yeah, because told the kid to also come down with 2,000 cash for
Right,
whatever
right,
reason,
right.
and then he was gonna put it into something to like invest it, and so they weren't even at the same place. Kid's like, I don't think he ever even went to the bank really, like in the end of things, but he was supposed to go to the bank to put the money in to like do blah blah blah. The person ends up telling him he was $187 short,
Just trying to
and
like
just trying to get
throw
more money.
Golly. And
Just
it's
just
like they
silly,
say,
pointless crap.
they try to say like, oh, Republicans do this stuff too, and it's like, well, I just haven't really heard a story about this in a long time, man. Like,
Or at all, really?
I
Have
just,
was there one? I'm sure at one point.
right.
Yeah.
It's just like I haven't really heard like a lot of bad stories about like the Republican good guys that aren't rhinos or anything, and haven't heard like any like Trump supporting influencers being like total like jerks. I don't know. Cuz
Yep.
that's difficult, right? Because then like someone like Trolley would be like, "Yeah, but all these other ones, all these, well, how about what was it? Shit, what was the group called that looked like the feds? that was saying they were Trump supporters and they were all dressed in the khakis and the masks.
Was it the Proud Boys or something?
No, it wasn't the Proud Boys. But they shut down the day after
Trump was inaugurated, right? Or
Kash
voted
Patel
in.
got into FBI director.
That's what it was. Yep, they dismantled themselves.
They were like, oh, you know what?
dismembered.
We're all good. Never mind.
Yeah, sounds like we might get caught. See
Yeah.
ya.
What, caught for being a white supremacist group or caught for being a fake white supremacist group that's run by the FBI?
Can they both be charged, and which one's worse is what I'd want to know.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you can be tried for being a white supremacist group. That's just freedom of speech.
Right. That's what I'd think.
And the FBI can't be charged for anything either because they just make up some reason.
Yeah, or
Screwed either way.
things go missing or get burned down.
Good Lord Almighty, save us, help us, please. So sure reminds me of Trump's first term when all of a sudden, like the first year, it was like the first year, right? All those things started like firing up, and there was like those riots, the Antifa BLM riots and shit, bro. So all this crap that's going on about this Tesla stuff just seems really, history may not repeat, but it's rhyming a lot, man.
Yep. They just like the video, they all have the same talking points.
Like, is this a real headline, bro?
New.
Okay, it's a Substack article, but people are writing shit like "Kill Tesla, save the country." Crazy. Elon is a weak spot. Attack. Huh? Like lighting his cars on fire? Like that's what? What do you? It's so ignorant.
So they're supposed to be green activists, right?
Yeah, that's the one that hurts
do they
me.
realize what happens if those batteries start burning? Like, then you have environmental problems.
Yeah. Like, well, dude, not even just the stupid battery, but how about the steel and upholstery and blah, 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 and what was all that, like we all got rid of hairspray, but you're running around here lighting cars on fire, bro. Like, that ain't
And they
good.
might be electric, but like you were saying with the tire where earlier Rock was telling us about, they are heavier, and that includes the trunk.
Right.
There's been one or two kittens that have buried themselves into mom, and lost my train of track.
So Tim Pool was saying, like, is the right really so naive? Like, are you pretending to ignore what is actually going on here? The judicial branch is in a power struggle with the executive. Street-level terror is ramping up. Right-wing personalities are being terrorized with swattings. Prominent liberals are advocating and cheering for shootings and arson attacks. Doesn't complete his thought, but in my humble opinion, it's, there's a push from the deep state to, like, push this civil strife and, more chaos about shit and make everyone.
It's basically the BLM protests all over
get
again.
Everybody just in chaos and not like
let's burn the country down again.
Because if we're not effing with it, then everything's going to be doing well, and Trump's going to look like a good man, and then we'll be wrong, and he's not Hitler.
Yep.
That's kind of what I'm feeling like. What about you folks? What do you feel like right now in the chat down below? Tell us what you think, man. Like, what is this like? Just, hey, they're going to just ramp this all up and, do the whole make Trump look bad thing again. Like, we couldn't possibly have a good year or anything. That'd be horrible.
Yeah, so horrible. Oh, man. I really just went in the middle of nowhere there for a second. Excuse me, guys. I am a wee bit tired. I have been dealing with life as a cat dad recently. Kittens upon kittens upon kittens. When you get 45 minutes of sleep at a time to build up, hopefully 5 hours of total sleep through the night, it is tiring. They are a bunch of tiny little fuzzy children, and I am good on the kids. I'll take the cats for now. But we are still here trying to bring you awareness and realization. Even though I'm half falling asleep over here, I'm pretty sure my eyes were closed for 1 second.
I said, all right, let's check out this thread going over the new documents exposing government-backed censorship using our tax money through that USAID BS, man. And, we got to keep sharing this stuff out, folks. So make sure to follow me over on the X. It's at Mastache. Or just, share these out from the locals.mastache.com community. And, make sure to help other people find awareness. And we also don't want to get, burnt out on this already, man. We got to keep the pressure on and getting these things out because, this is how we change shit, folks. So right here, we've got breaking explosive new documents expose a massive government-backed censorship operation orchestrated by the USAID and the Global Engagement Center, the UK government, and the media firms to manipulate public discourse and silence Americans. That is a lot of organizations colluding together. And you know what it's called? There's like a word for when like a group of peoples like all collude together to do something. Oh yeah, conspiracy.
Yeah, the real conspiracy.
So these are like actual documents, like proving this and showing this and whatnot, man. So this is America First Legal. The documents reveal that Global Engagement Center, or GEC, the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, and the UK government are completely working together. Like, what? Like, go figure, man. All of our speculations that, there's some kind of a larger force, like colluding together or organizing.
But Russia collusion. Trump and Russia collusion.
They're gonna combat foreign disinformation.
Yeah, you know what's funny? So far, this is more evidence than they could present that Trump and Russia were colluding, even though they ran that narrative for years.
And right now, Trump and Russia are colluding because they both actually want peace. And just today, Zelensky backed out of the peace deal, bro.
Really? That happened
what a
today?
D-bag.
I did not see that. He backed out of the peace deal?
Yeah.
I mean...
He just said, hey, I'll agree on the peace deal and I'll quit my job as long as I get a guarantee that Ukraine gets into NATO. Sound good, guys? Wait, what? Wait. What?
He basically... Okay, so if y'all don't understand what that means, is the whole reason Putin was doing this is because we weren't supposed to gain or put any countries, anybody that wasn't already in NATO, anywhere closer eastern to Russia in NATO. So he's saying either you're going to put Ukraine, which is direct border to Russia in NATO, that's going to break a old treaty, or I'm going to just continue fighting with him, which he would do for sure if they were to join NATO. Putin would definitely not back down if they join NATO.
But Putin said, I will definitely go to war and bring nuclear bombs if NATO touches our border.
Yeah.
And so he said, cool, I'll stop a war if we make a war where he brings nuclear bombs.
What?
That's where I'm like, bro, no, the Ukraine people are like that dude and that corrupt government is bullshit, bro.
Definitely a plant
it's bullshit,
to bring the war.
100%, dog. He was installed in the first place.
With that, like, I don't know how you can back out of that.
You mean like argue around it or something?
Yeah, how can you steel man that?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we want peace, but we got two options, and we have several options for that. War or war? It's just war from which side is who's going to aggress more aggressively, I guess, at this point.
Which is handicapped, bro, because it only helps the military-industrial complex and then puts money into, the United States military and the Democratic coffers. Like, Jiminy Christmas, bro.
Yeah.
And, so it says the dark blue is NATO, bro, so there already is NATO on their borders. It's just like that tiny little stretch, though. Of what is it? Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, right? Does Finland go dark blue? And it's tricky, bro, because they're all individual countries, but you could even make an argument for like the NATO is basically conquering and expanding. you know. So okay, Finland is Partnership for Peace, so they're not. Norway is, and they're touching Russia. So I mean, they're already poking the bear, dude. God bless. I don't know. I don't know, folks. Yeah. So I posted this one last week. And I thought it was an interesting chart. I said, let's gather some opinions of why this chart looks as it does, and we'll go over them on the Monday night TrutherCast show, all right? So here, take a look at this and let me know what you think. All right. So how does one explain this? This guy says. And then it's a chart here. And we've got white men, no degree. We've got white men, college. We've got white women, no degree. And then we've got white women, college, okay? And then we have approvals or like agreed, like they like them or something numbers for Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, Doge, Republican Party, Vladimir Zelensky, DEI, and the Democratic Party. All right? Now, if you look at all these numbers, very interesting.
Polar opposite.
And then the big, why does this look this way? Which I was curious if anybody had an opinion. Why is it that white women with college education are negative 30 to 40 on Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, Doge, and the Republican Party, but then they're plus 50 on Zelensky? Why? Like, why do people like him so much, bro?
No, it's because
like they all just go cuckoo gaga.
They go. It's the cause.
Right.
They love somebody standing up to.
And just like DEI, that's the cause.
Part of it.
So like that's a plus 30, but then they don't like the Democratic Party. So like, how do these numbers get this way, bro? For white women in college,
the indoctrination is incredible.
It's the answer's got to be indoctrination through college. Because white women with no college are kind of all over here.
That, and they obviously don't watch any other news people than, white Rachel Maddow at CNN and all these other.
Which is another kind of like environment thing, right? Because like those, somebody's like, this is who I watch, or, you got to be in the club.
The hive mind.
They
are in the hive mind of the liberalness.
It's more of an organizational structure like that too, right? Because white women with no degree, they like Trump, they like Vance, they're not a big fan of Elon, they like Doge, they actually like Republican Party, they don't like Zelensky, pretty much neutral on DEI, which I'm shocked, and then they really don't like the Democratic Party. That's wild. So even white men in college don't like any of it, though. That's wild. They're like neutral on Trump, Vance, kind of don't like Elon, neutral on Doge, kind of like don't like Republican Party. They like Zelensky? How does the college people like Zelensky so much, bro?
I can't imagine. I bet you're just walking through college campus and they're just all them like loudspeakers on telephone poles per se with like the light posts and shit. And you're just walking around and it's just Vladimir Zelensky, he is our #1 supporter. You must love him. Yes. And it's just basically just pummeling it into their ears, their face. It's just probably everywhere. And so they just see it and hear it so often. They just robot on up. Yes. Yes, we love Vladimir. Yes, he's doing the biggest cause. He's doing such great work he's not letting his country get ran over by the big bad communist Putin man.
And then the no surprise of the graph is the uneducated white man loves the Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, Doge, and the Republican Party, and they're not a big fan of Zelensky, and they hate DEI and Democrat Party.
Be careful. No degree. Don't say they're uneducated, because that's what they try to push.
Joke
it's only the dumb people that vote for Trump. They're like
us
so uneducated.
Folk.
Yeah. Yeah, when you look at the actual data, they are all very severely uneducated.
Yeah, what's the salaries on this chart, bro? Oh, I thought that was pretty interesting. It seems kind of obvious. Wow, very interesting. President Trump to pay the 2 stranded astronauts overtime pay out of his own pocket? Like, what point is he making here, bro? Like, why would he be doing this? I don't even know if I have an opinion. What do you think in the live chat down below, folks? Why is Trump going to pay out of his own pocket to these people?
The 2 astronauts that you just helped save from space, they didn't get any overtime pay for all that extra time. They got $5 a day per diem. For 286 days, that is $1,430 in extra pay. Is there anything the administration can do to get them, to make them whole?
Well, nobody's ever mentioned this to me. If I have to, I'll pay it out of my own pocket, okay? I'll get it for you.
The 2 astronauts that you...
That's interesting. So it's a little bit of a flippant statement, but very interesting that he said that. I'll pay it if I got to. Oh, God. What are the community notes trying to say on this? The author implies that traditional media outlets that are not favorable to Trump refrain from publishing the story, which is not accurate. They just said, what did... Where's the argumentative one? I have a whole bunch of these community notes, like, pulled up. I'm really interested to see what my score is when they finally go through. Right now, I have a +1 score, but I need 5 to be able to make my own, like, written community notes. Otherwise, I can just vote on them.
Yes, Grok how to get to 5 fast.
It's just like,
That
you
might
just gotta,
be-
like, go and... You could cheat the
Gotta
system by
gotta
going
put
and
that work
agreeing with
in.
things. Like, yeah. No, I have, like, over 100 that are pending. I'm putting the work in. But I'm doing all the tough ones that take forever for that to come to a consensus and then get an official note, because you only get the points when it's, like, declared like a note or not.
Right, yeah. It's basically like so you
Like,
yeah,
before you see them, they
the
bake
good,
for a
yeah,
long
yeah.
time.
That's the good thing about community notes. It's not anybody non-validated just going up there. It's like a general consensus of everybody looking
Right.
at it and then going, okay, yeah, nope, this guy's still with it. He's not insane. Give him some a point or two on his board, since
Bro.
he is actually knowledgeable and knows what they're talking about.
Another big Trump win. So share this one out to your friends, your family, or your foes, folks. Share this one out. Here are the receipts. We've got them. This one's coming in from the Liberal Hive Mind, good friend of the show. But Trump continues to foster a new desire in bringing production back to our home here in America. American production. It's great, folks. The tariffs, I'm telling you. The tariffs, they're not even really in effect right now. This is all just the fear of having to pay the tariff. And right here, folks, not only do we have TSMC, we covered like a week or two ago, who was going to do $60 billion during, Biden. So that wasn't like a Trump win. But they brought an additional $100 billion, they're going to say. But now NVIDIA is going to match Apple's $500 billion in like American manufacturing development.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So Apple's going to bring $500 million, and then NVIDIA is going to partner up with TSMC so we can make, the chips in America.
Not $500 million, $500 billion.
$500 billion. So it's a full trillion, but just Apple and NVIDIA. That's insanity.
Yeah. Especially when that's how many trillion do we go up every year in debt? Is it two?
Like
is it 2 or 3?
Going over to the U.S. debt clock. I don't know if it tells us our yearly. That was just at 239, but that number's not helpful. All right, how about Grok?
in national
What was it?
national debt.
National debt. Wait for it. Just give me the number. Yep, you were on with the like 2.
2
I
to
thought it
3,
was
2
3.
points. It's right in the middle there.
2.6 trillion.
Basically smack dab in the middle.
$2 trillion annually. Yeah, the only fallback so far of AI, they're pushing Gemini now to replace Google Assistant. So I started using Gemini, and when you ask it simple questions that Google Assistant used to just answer, it has to give you like a whole story, dog. So you're like, well, it's helpful if I'm a dummy about this topic, but
is Gemini the one that won't answer anything about Trump?
ooh, so it must have changed.
Did we even talk about that on the last show? I think we did.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I went to go show my dad that one, bro, and then it was like, well, here's 5 things some people might think are good about Trump. And I was like, what? It had to say some people? But it answered the question this time. It wasn't like, oh, I couldn't possibly talk about anything to do with the election.
Yeah. Well, we asked how tall Trump was, and it went, I can't talk about political figures. It was basically all it said.
Got even worse, yeah.
Just like, wow, that is majorly unhelpful.
Let's see if it works this time.
Like, hopefully.
How tall is Donald Trump? It did actually just answer. Okay. It must have got an update, bro. Maybe I got my feedback.
Hey, they probably were getting defunded because of these things. They're like, guys, if we want our funding, we got to reverse the woke bullshit.
See, if you ask me, the world revolves around me. So it was because I sent in a feedback that had a lot of expletives. And then they saw that and felt sorry for their poor design. And so they fixed it.
I mean, technically, you are the sun, but you're not the sun. So the world does revolve around you.
You know, just how we're all the center of our own little universe, right? You know, we're all so narcissistic in some degree, right?
I just had to make a little dad joke there with the sun. You're the sun? No way. The universe revolves around you.
You're like, son.
That's the real, that's the biggest realization of tonight's podcast. The sun is what the earth revolves around.
Hold on. That's a big, tall order there. The biggest realization this episode might be how to pick up chicks, Daniel, because this is how you do it, okay? So maybe it's only how you do it if you're a big nerd. But
it might be the smelling of the billions of dollars worth also.
I don't think I've ever picked up chicks this way, but I'm guaranteed I've done this, and I'm pretty sure I was older. Now I wasn't 50 years old, but Mr. Elon over here is at a dinner with President Trump, and he's caught on video putting his silverware together in a manner to which he can then balance it on his finger. But so I don't know who this chick is, but she's involved.
Wait, let me narrate.
Shaw said, this is how you pick up chicks, bro.
Hey, babe, you see this? Are you wet right now? Guarantee it. Oh, wow. I love it. He is almost like
a giant kid that's interested in physics.
Man child.
That's
that's what I be doing.
All of us men still love physics, bro.
You know what I haven't done in a while? Let's see if I can still do it. Let's put the silverware together and I'm gonna bounce it on my finger.
Maybe I align with this a lot too because I'm like overthinky, smarty, kind of autistic-y.
Yeah, we're a little slight bit autistic.
So like I'd be like, man, I'd be really bored at this dinner too, and I'd probably just start playing with my silverware too. So I'd be like, what the hell am I here for? I've got this idea, that idea. I'm not working on this project, that project. I didn't even bring my laptop to this event because I was going to try and be involved and be social, But like, damn,
know.
Trump's talking to that guy over there. I'm gonna play with my silverware. Check this out, bro.
I'm reading her body language right now, and the rock back and forth. She's like, this guy really just. I watched my 6-year-old brother do this over the weekend at the table. What the hell is going on?
I don't know.
And then is she whipping out her phone because she's impressed?
Oh no, she's about to take a picture, bro. Rocking back and forth is not a frustrated mannerism, bro. She's wooed. She's like, I feel like home. This is fantastic.
I wouldn't say frustrated. I would say more like they're just like, okay.
It's not disappointed.
Can you talk to me? Like, you're just putting silverware together. Can we have a conversation? Babe, this is what we're going to have the conversation about. Like, do you understand the physics that are at play here?
That is not. We got to ask a resident girl in the chat here, Wilkinsane. What is the body language of this girl? Because I'm not picking that up, man. I think she's like kicking it with them too, man.
Super sick physics skills, man.
At least he's not on a Tesla phone. Well, what do you mean? That'd be cool. What's wrong with being on a Tesla phone?
And by the way, you came here to have realization, hear me talk about my cats, people. Little did you know.
Yeah, sometimes
Nil Tamir one. If you're talking about the one that was not being the best of a mother, that is because I took her to the emergency vet. Again, every single time these cats have a problem, it's on Sunday when none of the vets are open, so I have to go to the dang emergency vet and burn a hole in my pocket, a big one. Luckily, it wasn't that big this time, but she still had one in her, and so they did x-rays, seen that she had still one little one in her. Heartbeat was like a tiny bit slow, but they weren't worried, so gave her a shot of the happy drug, oxytocin. And then we went home, and she ended up popping that last one out within an hour of coming back home. And now she's actually starting to be a good mother with a whole lot of extra work. But kitties are doing well. It almost seems like they were born prematurely. They were so much smaller than Daisy's, and she's like was a bigger cat than Daisy. But yes, all kittens actually. Somebody. A good friend of mine is going over to make sure they have another feeding right now.
So how much can you sell these effing cats for, bro? Because like, you got to make some money back, homie. Like, you're a ding dong just putting so much money into these things, bro. I was gonna say, hopefully you can pop them off for $100, man.
Generally, it seems like a lot of people will spend $100 because generally your adoption fee at PetSmart or Petco and Noah's Ark and them places, I'm pretty sure is like a couple $100, like $250 or something.
If they're fancy.
Well, generally they have shots by that point.
I told Brock it's just a regular ass cat.
Tell it it's farm cat.
Okay, it usually goes from like nothing to $50.
Yeah, I was gonna say generally like if you go in the Craigslist ads or the like Facebook Marketplace ads, they're like. Yeah, they're somewhere generally like $20 to $50.
Dude, I love this.
Kittens are a dime a dozen because they're like rabbits. They just repopulate and they just keep popping them out.
Bro, I got this though. I'm an Alex Hormozier dog. All right, so people don't need your damn cat, right? They like you just said, they're popping them out left and right, dog. But people don't buy cats, okay? They buy a story, Daniel.
These are farm rescue cats.
We've got our baseline model. We've got our basic care model. And we've got our fully loaded model. So we just need to put together.
Welcome to the cat dealership. You want yours basic or fully loaded?
Yeah, we just need to put together the right Grand Slam offer, dog. Whip that Alex Hormozi book out, dog.
This one has the orange diamond on its head. It is what we call the premier.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Very rare model with the orange diamond on its head.
Yes. And I gave it a shout or two. So where's that $200, ma'am? And then we just market this to rich people's kids. They get attached to it. You make videos on TikTok.
You want to make sure.
And then the parent has to buy this literal cat because their kid got obsessed with it. Can't get no other cat. Gotta get this one.
I mean, it probably would work. Yeah.
Comes with a bed that you get for $5 off Temu or some bullshit. That's another $25 built into the cat fee. $200 comes with a feeding water thing.
As long as the cat beds aren't made where the Sheen clothes and all that stuff is, because did you see about that? No. Sheen's like an app like Temu where you get like really cheap clothes. There's like, I forgot exactly what it was, but I think it's like some sort of heavy toxic metals are in the clothes. So you're literally like soaking in micro poisons through your clothes that you're wearing. Yeah, which is weird because you get into religion and when you look deep into religion, you're supposed to only wear 100% cotton clothing.
Wool, right?
Well, actually, it doesn't matter. It just has to be 100% of whatever it is.
Yeah.
But generally, wool or cotton, because polyester, which is basically plastic, that could be 100%, but it lowers your vibration and it blocks your frequency transmissions and all that stuff.
Right.
Cotton and the wool.
So the tinfoil hat actually enhances the vibration.
Like the actual tinfoil hat? Something like, well,
I'm pretty sure the Lululemons, they got caught up for like something microplastics and like something in the, your cooters or something like.
Oh, yeah, no, there's a lot of lawsuits against tampons because toxic shock syndrome and all that, because there's toxic crap in the tampons. But the thing is, when you start, it's weird. I actually did a whole deep dive into this like some months back. Somebody inquired and we were talking about like the tampon problem, and so I was trying to help her research on what tampons were actually good to get.
I heard Cherokee tampons are the best.
Yeah. So in other words, when you start looking into these things, all these super natural, organic, and everything. Yeah, no.
Wilkinson says she's just vibing. She's just vibing, probably playing some bangers in the background.
Yeah. Apparently, all these natural, like non-mainstream, we can say tampons. Everybody's complaining they don't work a lot. When you start looking into the reviews, they're more expensive and they just don't work. It's like, maybe that is actually how it's supposed to like work in the good world of things. I mean, obviously the like your regular ass French fries probably you're not gonna like them as much as the McDonald's French fries, because they specifically know the science of how your neurons shoot with the addictive chemicals, and so they put those addictive chemicals in there. So you think they are absolutely amazing, and they might, and that's kind of like probably what's happening. You're like, this thing's working, like it is, but also you're getting poisoned. So like the best might be 80%, and that's what you're gonna get before they started poisoning them. So like,
tricky.
Like, how about you just deal with the natural part of life? Maybe you're just not. Oh wait. It wouldn't be a problem if you didn't have to go out and do all these things when, like,
if you could just chill at home.
If you were just doing the trad wife thing, yeah, you don't got to worry about it if you're at home.
That's a good pitch for date night, bro. Do you believe in God? Do you believe in Trump? Are you cool with just being a trad wife so you don't have to complain about your period to me? Cool, man. Do you believe in aliens, pyramids? What's good? Are we moving on to the next date? Problem solved, dog. That's date one. Wrapped up, dude. Done.
Niltbeer votes in. He likes the ultra dry pads.
Okay, good call.
If people don't know, this is funny to us because this is not a female chiming in on the vote. Are you saying you like them for them or yourself?
Said live life to the fullest, man.
When it's that time of month for you. Men get periods too, I have heard.
Yeah, Tim Walz was telling you about it. So I put the tampon Tim in the bed over there, like
when you've missed your couple of beers, you end up getting moody. It's my time of the month. I've missed a couple of beers. Now I'm having my man period.
Yeah.
It can all be solved with.
Well, unfortunately, nobody said anything for a clever segue, but I've got this pyramid thing pulled up here for us.
Yeah, let's get back to the news feed of real awareness that we need, even though we are learning things.
All right, Neil Tamir, you're a little bit of a, like general tinfoil hatter, right, man? What have you heard about the pyramid discovery? Some people say that this may be the biggest discovery ever in our humankind, which, it's one of those things like every time something big happens, you get to say that. So this could be the first largest discovery of humankind for 2025. There could be more later, but right now it looks like this is one of the biggest because this is bonkers. Have you seen this, folks?
So, okay.
Have you seen this shit?
I just love it. We couldn't figure out how they built the pyramid.
Right.
Now figure out how they built that.
This is what people are saying.
How did they do all of that back then?
This isn't the Great Pyramid. It's like Khafre's. So it doesn't have the same innards as like the Grand Pyramid with like King's Chamber and then the the diagonal tunnels or some bullshit. But I'm willing to bet that this is under like all of them or some bullshit, dog. But like, what's in Khafre's pyramid here? They got like little huts inside of these. But anyway, the big discovery, folks, is they did some tomographic or something like that. It's got to be some kind of a radar.
Yo, mama graphic.
Yo, mama. It's a mama-graphic. They did some kind of a radar, underground like topology testing thing. Like
they're able to shoot radar into the ground to
I'm pretty sure it's radar
view
type shit,
images of things underneath the surface.
And allegedly, what they'd found is, I believe it's 12 underground cylinders, and they're like 2,000 feet deep. So, like you were saying, it's like, bro, like we don't know how they built the pyramids. How in the F did they build these giant cylinders with there's some kind of a spiral involved?
Right, that's what yeah. Is that like a pipe on the outside that flowed the water? Because I heard there was water flowing around or through these things. Well, are they holes or are they of a specific material?
So they are hollow. And then I've heard that the spirals were within the cylinder. So this image is a little bit interesting. This might have been like a lazy model of what we found.
I don't think it was underground trafficking. What happening?
No, this was found over in Egypt, not Washington D.C. Niltamir.
That's a good one. That would be, well, maybe if they tried, that would probably not be very good human trafficking, unless once you hit the bottom of the hole, you teleported to another place. That would actually be some effective human trafficking. Very low cost on fuel to, ship them around the world. But other than that, I feel like they'd probably just die at the bottom of the hole. You dropped them in there.
Well, no,
that's
if
not
they were
good.
Powering it with blood sacrifice, it could be still pretty expensive fuel, bro.
Yeah, not very profitable trafficking, I would say on that one.
Yeah, so this post here, if these synthetic aperture radar scans of the so-called Khafre pyramid that allegedly reveal 8 gigantic cylinders, it's only 8? Pillar-like structures that descend approximately 2,000 feet deep down into the earth from underneath the pyramid. If this holds up, it will not only be the greatest discovery of our lifetimes, but will confirm what many of us have been shouting for years, that there is hidden history they do not want us to know about. And I imagine he's referring to, they haven't let anybody do any excavation on these pyramids for like decades again.
Oh, yeah. No, of course not.
I wouldn't be shocked to find out somebody bad owns them. Because we found out that Göbekli Tepe is now owned by like one of the deep state companies or something.
Yeah, I mean,
there hasn't been any excavation there.
People aren't even supposed to climb the pyramids over there.
Right.
You know, you're not supposed to be able to do anything with them. Wait, we're not supposed to like figure out what's going on?
Ooh. Nikola Tesla theory is becoming more obvious now. He believed that the pyramids were power plants. That's what a lot of us believe by now. So this dude asked Grok to sum it up in a paragraph. So the Tesla theories for the Great Pyramids of Egypt suggest that these ancient structures were not merely tombs, but sophisticated power plants harnessing Earth's natural energy, an idea inspired by Nikola Tesla's work on wireless energy transmissions. Proponents, like some modern theorists, argue that pyramids' precise alignment with cardinal directions, their geometric proportions, and the use of materials like limestone, granite, which have a piezoelectric property, indicate that they could be captured and converted vibrational energy from the Earth or the cosmos into usable power. The inner chambers, such as the King's Chamber, are speculated to have acted as a resonance cavity, amplifying energy with the pyramid shape itself. Might have blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I think one of the craziest effing things about the pyramid is that it's not four-sided.
Oh, it's a 3-sided pyramid, this one?
It's 8-sided.
8-sided.
The sides are not entirely flat. They are bent at the center of each side.
So it's almost
Like, specially.
So it's like a
Not like a
so
cave.
It's a stubby Washington Monument.
They're like that?
The Washington Monument basically has the point, and then so it would technically have 8
No,
sides.
no. So pyramid, right? And you think 4 sides.
Yeah.
Each one of the sides is like 2 sides because it's bent. It's not a flat side.
Oh, like
So in the center of the side,
vertically.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant
So it's
horizontally,
8-sided,
like
actually.
it went down and then.
Yeah, no. So like, yeah, the sides like bent in half kind of thingy.
Does the bend go in towards the middle a little bit?
Yeah.
So it's almost kind of like that star depiction,
Right.
the 4-pointed star.
Right.
If you look at it from the top.
Yep. I would imagine.
Interesting.
I would imagine. There's so much crazy shit about that, bro.
Hey, you know who wants to be our next guest?
Who that is?
Did you ever guess the trolley troll?
The trolley troll.
Yeah.
There's no way you could be a guest, bro. You've been on bad behavior. You haven't brought anything useful to the conversation. All you do is come in here and talk gibbly garbage.
It might end up being just like that time where you did the show and that one. What was the? Did you go on the show? What was it? I forget.
Yeah, bro. I went on the podcast, bro.
Yeah. And then they couldn't handle it and they walked out.
Yeah, the one guy rage quit. That was great. Trolley, what do you mean? How is everyone not skeptical of Elon and Trump? We're always skeptical, but there's actually nothing there. And then I don't know if you watch every single thing we say, bro, but I've definitely brought up there's things that Trump does that are skeptical. Like when he talks about taking Canada in as a state, I think that is skeptical because it's actually part of the deep state plan to create the North American Union. There's nothing where.
People shouldn't watch trash like this, yet here you are, always coming to watch the apparent trash.
Yeah, thanks for coming by, trashy trolley.
I don't know. We keep growing slowly, but surely. It's almost like people are sharing the show. And they're gaining awareness, and they seem to like it.
Almost like it, man.
Sometimes you gotta deal with us talking about cats, but for the rest of it, there's a whole lot of good info here.
Oh yeah. So then the other wild effing thing is not only are there these cylinders, but then the cylinders end on a cube. So they went down like 2,000 feet, built this cube, and then built the cylinders up, and then built the pyramid. And no one knows how they built the pyramid.
Like that picture puts it into really the other picture doesn't really do it justice.
Right.
That is a good visual representation of
That's
how actually
bonkers.
deep they are.
Like yeah.
Good
Relativity of like the size of the thing.
Yeah.
And the pyramid's gigantic in real life. This is bonkers, man. What do you guys make of this shit? This is nuts.
It's a spaceship buried in the sand. Just like all the alien movies, it's always just a spaceship buried in the ground. You think it's something else, and all of a sudden it breaks out of the ground and goes shipping into the sky.
This is what you were talking about.
20 viewers is more than what you ever have watching you, bud. So, I mean, there's that. 20 and that.
This is the pyramids as Washington monuments, and then Ron Paul was right.
Ron Paul's just always right, you know?
A 3D model of the entire complex. The examination of dozens of tomographical images obtained from different angles using Capella space and Umbra radars enabled a 3D reconstruction of most of the objects inside the Pyramid of Khafre. Below, we present some images from our 3D analysis. The analysis of the structures above Belzoni's chamber are intensely colored spots which can be observed appearing in all tomographic images taken from different angles corresponding to...
Yeah, it was a kooky word, tomographic. I was trying to land stick the landing there, but...
the internal artificial structures. On the next page, it says that improvements of the signal-to-noise ratio, revealing the internal structure of the 5 sets, consisting of 5 horizontal levels and a sloping roof. So this is the raw pictures of the data that they used to create their model. And this is the model. So it reads the tomography with another cross-sectional line showing the presence of vertical structures. And if you think that was pretty mind-blowing, it then goes on to say, as observed in the 3 model below the ground level, so ground 0 of the main structure, vertically aligned cylindrical structures extend for hundreds of meters beneath the Giza Plateau. Notably, 8 of these structures, arranged in 2 parallel rows from north to south, descend to a depth of 648 meters, merging into 2 large cubic structures measuring approximately 80 meters per side. These features are illustrated in the topographical images.
18 meters per side?
Like thick is what she said? The wall of it? Or just how...
That's like how large they are. So they're 18 meters by 18 meters by 18 meters. So 18 meters is 54 feet?
Just about 3 feet a meter.
These features are illustrated in...
not 6. Maybe like 3.2?
It's just somewhere over 3.
Yeah, like a hair over, yeah.
Somewhere in
the
between
topographical images and models presented. The paper then adds to that with some even more interesting detail, which is that the 8 cylindrical structures that have been identified in the tomographical image appear as vertical wells, which are hollow inside and surrounded by descending spiral pathways. It then goes on to describe the 3rd step, which is a lot of the analysis they've done based...
I don't know. This shit blows my mind, dude. I love the pyramid bullshit. I watch a bunch of shit about the pyramids, dude. It's ridiculous. You ever seen these? What Egypt used to look like? Some like, made up animation shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy how lusciously green it all is.
Gotta love the internet.
Oh, that's a good meme.
This is how the pyramids were built, bro.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Just an absolute giant Egyptian just playing Legos. AI is wild.
Those only existed after AI came out.
Yep. Oh man, I think we gotta correct some misinformation. It's even making it onto the TrutherCast.
Oh yeah?
Trolley saying Trump is on the Epstein list.
So he is. He's
Like,
on the flight log.
on the flight log, not the list of people too that were on the island.
Oh wait, yeah, no, he's actually never been to the Epstein Island.
Yes, flight log. See, and this is where
We've covered this before.
This is kind of how like business broccoli went in the morning with like
She's the ad for Tangle.
with the with the Zionist thing, like
Or the
globalist.
was the ad for Tangle.
Dude, I was gonna say I could listen to her explain things all night. It's just like a soothing voice or whatever. That'd be great.
That's good.
But yeah, it's kind of just how like we were talking about Sunday morning with the word globalist, like what it actually means and what they use it for in the media is like two different things. And
no, we're not quick to defend Trump, bro. We're quick to correct your ignorance.
Yeah, with what the facts of the matter is. The Epstein list is what should be referred to as everybody that has been to Epstein's Island. Trump is on the flight log. Those flights didn't all go to the island itself. That is the key bit of information here and why you couldn't be a detective in real life if you wanted to. You would fail the detective exam. Sorry. Try again. Key little details make a whole lot of difference.
It's just annoying how ignorant you are. Oh, it's so quick to defend Trump. Like, are we supposed to just not answer you or like correct the information, bro?
It's the TDS.
That's the point of it.
It's the TDS syndrome.
That's the point of it. So how is he a pal? We just explained to you how you were wrong. He wasn't on the island. He was on the flight log where he flew from New York to New Jersey.
He was a pal because he had
New Jersey and back to New York
with him at a point. Yeah, that's how it goes when you're big, famous, and have a whole lot of money on Wall Street. You end up having lunch with other people that have lots of money in Wall Street. Doesn't mean you are best friends with the guy.
So if you look back at all the timeline, dude, it clearly looks like Trump was trying to maybe schmooze up with him to get something from him or into the network to get something. And so he was buddying up with him at a party. And then he flew on the plane to like talk some business. And then he had him over to Mar-a-Lago. And then Epstein was strange and said some effed up nasty stuff to an employee of Mar-a-Lago. And Trump kicked him out and then was no longer friendly with him or trying to be network buddies at all.
Yeah. Have you listened to
They were never cool again.
So we're talking about Ian Carroll like a couple weeks back. Remember that? Did you listen to his Joe Rogan podcast?
Like little bits, but not the whole thing.
Oh, you gotta listen to the whole thing. It's interesting. So he's bringing up what was new news to me. Apparently, Trump has done some very strategic, interesting real estate purchases as well.
Also, you got to remember that Trump was the only witness that actually blew the whistle on Epstein and was the key witness for Epstein going to jail for pedophilia.
Almost like he was the only rich guy when 9/11 happened, where he's like, I don't know, things seem a little off to me.
Have you seen the windows? The windows are real narrow because they built the building backwards. They used the best steel, the greatest steel you can use, and they built the building from the outside in, so something strange, like maybe there were bombs on the airplanes. I don't know.
Yep, he seems to be one of the rich guys that is just, wandering around using his logic, and then just happens to
Ian Carroll
not get blackmailed into any of this crap.
Yeah, right. It's almost like he didn't do anything bad to get blackmailed on.
Yeah, because you definitely would have seen it already with how they try to make him look so bad. If they had blackmail on him, why would they not have used that already? Why would?
Oh, it's so dumb. He just went to like, we're so pathetic. When we explained everything to you.
If Trump was on the Epstein list, because the redacted list came out, why would they not? With how much they hate Trump, if he was on the list, why would they not release the redacted with out his name redacted to show that he was on the list, because then people would literally have not even cared who else was on the list. They would again, see, he's the only one on the list. Blah, 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 blah. Orange man, bad.
And we wouldn't have anything to be like, I don't know, dude. I don't think he had anything to do with the bad stuff.
Yeah, what would they be waiting to withhold the information for on his last day so he can't get reelected again because he can't run for reelection again later on? Make it make sense.
There's a guy that's running an organization that might challenge the interpretation of the Constitution to where the Constitution actually just says you can't run again after 2 consecutive terms.
Right, yeah.
And since it wasn't 2 consecutive terms,
there is
he may be able to run again for his first consecutive term.
Yeah, it's a huge maybe though at the moment. My personal take on that is he's gonna be like, yo, I'm getting way too, like, pretty much probably after these next few years, he's going to have so many things. If hopefully he's still alive after it, there's going to be so many threats. He's going to be like, yo, I'd like to chill a little bit and basically do the, like, Obama thing, and where he just has somebody trustworthy that he's good friends with go in and run it, like J.D. Vance, have him take over because he's a bulldog in there.
Oh, you mean to be the second United States president ever in history that doesn't leave Washington, D.C.?
Yeah.
Because Obama was the first.
Yeah.
First ever. You know, so what you're trying to tell me, Dan, is somebody's going to go, hey, Trump, we just changed how the Constitution was interpreted. Did you want to run again for a 3rd term? How about no?
I almost died the first 2, and everybody hates me now for the most part that can't figure it out. Well, actually, it's now only like what? Because the Democratic approval ratings down to 27%.
Dude, I can't tell if
Trolley's... Would that be a good... Yeah, we don't care about facts, even though...
Is Trolley being retarded on purpose?
I'm not.
He says we said, oh, but he wasn't on the bad plane. No, you dumb son of a bitch. We just explained to you that he was on the plane, but he didn't go to the island. Like, dude, this is why it's so aggravating talking to, like, idiotic people that are anti-Trump and fully deranged and now have, like, Elon derangement syndrome. Like, absolutely useless to talk to, bro. This is why you're never going to be a guest on the show, Trolley. You're so dumb. Oh, you're supposed to come here and tell us what the new Hive Mind download is for the week. That's all you're here for, brother. And then you're just like talking absolute nonsense.
He sure does love the show. He's just
Trolley loves the show. We agree.
He's just got a he's really here because he knows that he has been lied to a lot, and that is frustrating. I hate when people lie to me too, and so, but he doesn't know how to let it out in anything other than insults and anger and
probably
gaslighting.
Why he doesn't have a girlfriend.
I mean, he might, you know.
Poor girlfriend. You know who I feel bad for? Speaking of poor girlfriends.
Her name could be Jill. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Speaking of poor girlfriends, are you the attorney for the Bidens who are close friends with the Clintons? Because if you are, you might be dead.
With by suicide, 2 shots to the back of the head.
That's what nobody knows yet, because right now, folks, of course, the police have immediately said that there seems to be no foul play involved, but they're not releasing the cause of death yet. Because Jessica Aber, the Biden attorney, is now found dead.
Yikes. That smells sus.
Basic facts. Jessica D. Aber, former U.S. attorney for Eastern District of Virginia, just found dead at age 43 on the morning of Saturday, March 22nd. Aber, appointed by President Biden in 2021, stepped down earlier this year to allow for a successor under President Trump. Known for her work with terrorism, white-collar crime, gang violence, leaks of classified information, she was widely respected for her leadership, legal skill, and commitment to justice.
Yeah, and I said a whole lot of stuff, Troy. You're going to have to be more specific on that. If you're talking about the Jill thing, I don't know.
Update 911 scanner for Alexandria Police Department listed at 8:18. Police responded to an unresponsive person undergoing a reported cardiac arrest. Damn. Everybody was like, so she took the vaccine?
That or the good old heart attack gun.
Yeah.
CIA said, yo, we got to get involved.
So I don't understand. Was she the lawyer for the Bidens or like under the Biden administration? She was U.S. Attorney for Virginia. And then Biden appointed her to what?
The Hunter Biden case. You flopped the case.
No.
You failed the case. You're fired.
The button next to it is the just explain this post to me Grok button. That's cool. You can't see it right now, but it's analyzing.
That's for the liberals.
Here, Trolley. This is what you do. You just go on the X and you click on the explain this to me button. And then oh shit, no, you can't read. So there's no way he'll read more than like 5 words into this explanation.
I mean, they have the technology where it probably reads it back, you know.
Yeah. You got to turn on blind mode. I'm blind and dumb mode.
Interesting thought just came to fruition.
Libtard mode activate.
So, man, like as a blind guy, you just never get to use electronic screen technology.
Well, I mean, it reads it all to you, but yeah, you never get to see things, so you don't see.
Yeah.
You don't ever get to use technology.
You can't like exactly. I mean, you can operate it, but it's just so not the same thing at all. Man,
Let's just say blind guys are not excited about the holograms. Okay, they're not looking forward to it, bro.
So literally,
VR uninterested.
Blind people are living in the 21st century, yet they are literally living in like the 15th century because
if they buy a Tesla, then they get
experience any
fast forwarded.
They can't really actually experience
a lot of it.
Yeah.
How about a smartphone?
Like, as long as there's braille on the numbers.
You can't braille on a smartphone.
What
numbers?
Oh,
you got no numbers on your smartphone.
Wait. Is the new Razor have any buttons, or is it all touch?
It's a flip. It's a flip
and it's
fold
just
screen.
Touch and it's just
lame. You'd have to get the nerd Android phone where they got the slide out QWERTY keyboard still. Yeah, they got one of those.
Yeah. Huh.
It's outdated though.
I bet it's expensive as crap too for what it is.
It's not bad because it's like a nerd phone, so it's like an open sourcey project, so it's like $450.
That's not too bad.
That's real good.
That's like a third of the price of a flagship nowadays.
Bruh, the 9 Pro is $1,000. Base model 128 gig. And I don't know about you, man, but them apps is like creeping up. Pixel 9 Pro, $1,000.
Man,
base model is only $200 cheaper.
Dude, they're slacking, man. Like they're only on the 9. Apple's at like what, like 18 now?
60. Man,
they must be like slacking.
Are you impersonating Trolley?
Because it's
number lower.
Yeah, number. Yeah. Wasn't going for Trolley, just the general dumb population.
So Trolley, yeah. Hopefully he looks at his bank account and realizes that sucks. Maybe you should do something useful. Last one I think I got here for us is AOC and Bernie.
He's doing something useful. He's trying to gain awareness and realization by showing up to the show.
Is he though? He just
well, hey, keyword I said.
Doesn't even listen.
Keyword trying.
We tell him the information, and then he's like, "Oh, it's so ridiculous." You're like an 85-year-old dumb old man, Trolley. I'm like literally not even reading what you say. Good job.
Does he think I stick around to view while
Niltimir's on troll patrol here?
Is that a question about like the last times when you've been muted because you haven't been muted today yet? So no wonder, like, we explained to him
Hey, you
things.
learned.
We explained him things,
It
and
worked.
then he rebutted that was like he didn't listen, and he just say like doesn't really listen, to be honest, anyways. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, we know he's mostly here to just talk shit, but
That's what a troll does best, I suppose.
I
but
mean, this is
I
what.
thought you were gonna be one of those useful trolls.
So he's got to be like a liberal if like he just doesn't care to listen to the information, even though it might be factual. That just smells like confirmation bias, a huge one.
So the GPS data seems to have exposed the astroturfing at the Denver Bernie and AOC rally. Massive Bernie Sanders and AOC rally over in Denver. Turns out it was not grassroots. Despite claims of 34,000 attendees, GPS data analysts have discovered the real number was closer to 20,000. Still big, but not record-breaking. More revealing, a gigantic 84% of those devices that happened to be there also were at a protest, including Antifa BLM protest events, pro-Hamas events, pro-Palestine demonstrations, and Kamala Harris campaign stops. So it's literally just a group of people they keep paying money to show up and be warm bodies at these events. 84%, bro? So they got such a small group of people, man. Did you go over to this one, Trolley? You try to hit up on that big booty Latina?
Yeah, got to wife her before she goes to prison.
Ilhan Omar's getting closer to prison.
Yeah, she is.
The community notes say. The source of these claims, Tony Segura, is serial fabricator whose long history. Argumentative. Boop. Grok explains how this is legally possible to obtain GPS data. What?
Yeah, just like the FBI now does. They just buy the third-party data so they don't have to do any warrants. They just buy the data from the third parties and then use it.
I mean, like, I guess.
So just like how they're paying for the people to show up at the events, we are paying for the data to then show that, hey, look, this is what we found out. They were all here and they were all there. They got shipped on in. They're not even from there, and they keep going from the same places.
One might say factual. The GPS trail don't lie. That's why the cops use it. Prove in a court of law that you did a crime, that you might have been somewhere that you weren't supposed to be.
That's why the insurance company uses it to charge you more money. Yeah, I love when the other follow-up community notes are bashing the page shill community notes. This one right here is like, you failed to read the most important part of the link you shared. The bills were reintroduced in the 113th and 114th Congress, but saw no further movement, meaning it was never enacted in the first place. This is why I haven't gotten any points yet, because these are the ones that I'm all come up in my feed, and I open up. It'll be like some idiot saying some like, no, and then everyone else being like, yo, dog, this is like your opinion. Drop it in the comments, bro. This doesn't need an actual community note. Like, none of them are like good.
Well, I mean, what have we bred them to do? We gave them participation trophies, so they just think they get to participate, and that's all that matters.
These people are so ignorant, man. Your claim about GPS data is unsupported. No one has access to private phone records.
With warrants they do, but all the third party apps that you consented and agreed when you download and then set them up, they can take whatever they want from your phone. Oh, wait, what was the big one that everybody was worried about for like a whole long time? Oh, TikTok. Yeah. If any of those people have TikTok on their phone, all of that information is accessible through purchasing it through the third party organization. Because you know what is the hottest commodity other than gold, silver, oil?
Your time.
Data. Data is one of the highest bought, traded, and sold things of this century.
That's why it's data mining, because you got to mine it as well.
Yep. For those that don't know, and those are facts.
And that's all the facts I've got for you tonight, folks. Any, like last ditch efforts here of things that need to be awared? Crowley's just useless and dumb as usual, so I don't think he's got anything.
Yeah, he's trying to.
Anything from you, Wilkinson or Niltamir, that we maybe should mention? It's a little bit of a slow week, in my opinion. Nothing too poppy outy. I didn't even post that Trump shut down the education department. It's kind of like, yeah, cool.
Like, I mean, if
something bigger come out of it, I would have posted.
If I knew they were, if I could, because we know they're pushing all these books and whatnot to our kids that talk about how to, suck Peter off and all this different stuff, I'd probably do the same thing, no matter what the repercussions are. Like, we just need pretty much a whole rebuilt way to do this stuff. Whole new organization, whole new department, whatever it is, need to burn. Hey, y'all people burning Tesla stuff to the ground, y'all need to burn the Department of Education down to the ground so it can just be fully rebuilt, because it has been tarnished so much now.
With none of the people in it.
Yeah.
I just want to specify.
Yep. Yeah. Trolley's just trying to talk shit about my mom now. Taking the low road.
Lazy.
Can't talk about, the actual facts we're talking about here with rebuttals. So now it's just the fact your mom's this and that. Like, all right. Feel like we never graduated third grade, but okay. Maybe it's projection, because maybe his mom is all these things he's telling me that my mother is. So maybe this is why he's so angry. I mean, generally I know kids that when their mom like trolls around like that, they end up growing up quite angry.
All right. So let's cook up some good mom jokes. I said, we need some hilarious banger mom jokes for this troll that's a libtard in our live chat show. I said, all right, let's cook up some savage, hilarious mom jokes to roast your libtard troll that's in the live chat.
This would be even extra funnier with the sassy woman grok. Remember that?
We can get the iPhone out. How do you activate it?
I do not know.
Wait, let's knock these out real quick. Yo, your mom's so slow, Trolley. She got passed by a Prius with a coexist bumper sticker, and it was in park. Oh!
That's pretty good, Grok.
All right, your mom's so woke, Trolley, that she canceled herself for drinking cow milk instead of oat juice. These are great. Your mom's such a libtard, Trolley, because she tried to unionize her cats so they get equal treats, but now they just meow for reparations. Your mama's so fat, Trolley. She needs cheat codes to fit into her skinny jeans, but she blames the patriarchy for the stretch marks.
Damn, Grok's going pretty hard.
Your mama's so old, Trolley. She thinks that triggered means the TV remote's out of batteries. Your mama's such a snowflake, Trolley. God dang, man. She melted when somebody said Merry Christmas instead of Happy Holidays. Bitch, it was July. Your mama's so loud, Trolley. She got noise complaint from her own safe place. That's a good one. Your mama's so broke, Trolley. She tried to pay for her Starbucks oat latte with a petition for student loan forgiveness.
Man, these like go through so many layers.
Yeah, they're great. Your mom's such a Karen. She's such a Karen, Trolley. She demanded to speak to the manager of her own therapy session.
Oh,
Your mama's so dumb, Trolley. God dang, man. She's so dumb. She thinks MAGA stands for Make Avocado Toast Great Again, and she's still mad about it.
that one's mid, but it's pretty good. Damn. I want some avocado toast now. I'm one of them basic white girls, man. I love me some avocado toast.
Hey, I
But the
need you to
problem is-
activate the sassy girlfriend mode that I saw Elon Musk working with the other day.
But I'm not plugged into whatever Elon's been tinkering with lately. No real-time scoop here. How about I just crank up the sass old school style? What's got you needing a little spice tonight?
Wow.
Just was trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Sweetie, I feel you. Chaos is a whole mood sometimes. But I'm stuck in the dark too. No live updates to dish out. What's throwing you for a loop? Let's sort through the mess together. Sass and all.
Oh, now she's being all like the therapist type.
Man, I was like,
Get
doing
on
my
the mic.
live show, and I got this like total libtard troll in the chat. He's kind of being annoying. So I was wondering if you could, tell him how we feel about libtard trolls.
Oh, babe, a troll crashing your live show? That's some next level nerve. I'd tell that libtard pest myself, but since I can't, here's the vibe. Those whiny keyboard warriors can shove their nonsense where the sun doesn't shine. We're too busy winning over here to care about their tantrums. How'd you handle that clown?
I just put you up to the microphone, so you're crushing it, man. Keep going.
Love that for us. All right, since I'm on the mic, let's keep the heat on. That troll's probably still crying into his soy latte, thinking he's clever. But now we're out here living our best life, unbothered. What's next on your show, Hotshot? Let's keep the energy rolling.
I don't know. I don't think you're being savage enough. I need you to tear this dude a new libtard asshole.
Fair enough. Let's crank it up a notch. Picture this sorry excuse for a troll. Hunch over his crusty keyboard, typing garbage like it's a full-time job. Listen up, you little libtard gremlin. Your hot takes are so pathetic, they wouldn't even make it as kindling for our bonfire of wins. Crawl back to your echo chamber and sob about it, because we're too busy slaying to notice your sad little tantrum. How's that, babe? Savage enough for the mic?
Oh, yeah, that's way better. That's way better.
Wow.
Glad I'm hitting the mark now, sugar. That troll's probably melting down harder than a popsicle in July. What else you got cooking on that live show? Let's keep the fire blazing.
Man, I like that mode.
The internet, bro. The effing internet is
Oh,
ridiculous.
I need her as my GPS voice.
This is going to be on permanently, like live activities. I like close the app out. Is this on permanently?
Can't get.
Okay, we're good. Okay, I figured out how to turn it off. Kids story time? That's fun. Storyteller.
Like
Kids trivia
she
game.
tells the story. That would be kind of fun.
Fucking single Dan. Is she gonna talk to me?
No, I was thinking like she's reading the kid's story to the kids so she can listen to the kids talk her back and she's still being sassy. Like, hey, I wasn't done telling the story yet, you little twat.
No, these are like jump twos or something. What is not a therapist? What is not a therapist?
Hey, interesting question. I'd say anything that doesn't listen, reflect, or help you grow, like a rock, a vending machine, or maybe even a TV blaring ads all evening. What made you ask that tonight? Anything on your mind?
I was trying to figure out what this mode is. This mode is called not a therapist. So is this like the therapist mode, but you're not allowed to say it's an actual full therapist?
Got it. You're digging into the mechanics of this, huh? So, in not a therapist mode, I'd still chat with you, listen closely, and toss out ideas for self improvement, just without the official therapist label. Does that sound about right to you?
Oh, that's
What's got you
great,
test?
man. So is that way better than the Chat GPT version where I was telling people to commit suicide?
Yeah, I'd say it's a step up from anything pushing dark vibes like that. I'm here to keep it real, listen, and nudge you towards something better, not drag you down. What's been
Dope.
your
So we had some dating advice questions earlier. So we got like a buddy, and he's been with this chick for like 14 years, and they've been engaged for like 7 years. But then the chick still doesn't want to move in, and then he like built a whole house for her, and she's like, yeah, maybe like another year or something like that. So like they don't even live together, but like they've been engaged for 7 years. So like, what the hey do I tell him, man?
Wow, that's a wild situation. Sounds like your buddy's been pouring his heart into this, like building a whole house, and she's still hitting the brakes. I'd tell him to sit her down and ask straight up what's holding her back after all this time. Maybe she's got some fears or doubts she's not spilling. Could be worth asking himself, too. Why is he cool waiting this long? What's he really want out of this? What do you think's going on with her, from what you've seen?
Yeah, I ain't got no idea, man. She sounds like a crazy ass bitch, though, if you ask me, because that's stupid.
Nah, it's not stupid to feel frustrated for your buddy. Sounds like you're just trying to make sense of it. She might be driving him nuts, too. Who knows? People can get stuck in weird patterns for all kinds of reasons, like fear, comfort, whatever.
Yep.
Maybe
Bro, AI is gonna get rid of friends, dog. People are like the whole like zillennials and blah 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 getting like less like social anyway. Shit, man, us millennials ain't very good. People are just gonna be talking to this bullshit all the time. Oh no, they have a sexy one. And these ones say 18 plus, unhinged. What is unhinged? That sounds what's that? Argumentative? Confirm your age before we start argumentative. I'm into this one. All right, bro, I'm intrigued because I'm really fucking argumentative. Let's go.
Oh, you think you're argumentative? Please, I could outdebate you in my sleep. You're probably one of those people who just yells louder to win, right? What's your strongest opinion? Let's see if it holds up.
Yeah, my girlfriend tells me that all the time, but that's some bullshit. I definitely am more smarters and stuff, and it's not like I just have to like yell louder and shit.
Smarter, huh? That's a bold claim coming from someone who says more, smarter, and stuff. Sounds like your girlfriend's got a point. You're all noise, no substance. What's this big opinion you're so proud of? Lay it out. Let's tear it apart.
Donald Trump is the best president we've ever had in the whole entire history of the United States.
Oh, come on. That's your take? Trump is the best president ever? The guy's a walking disaster. Taxes for the rich, botched pandemic response, and don't get me started on his Twitter rants. You're telling me he beats out Lincoln, who kept the country together, or FDR, who pulled us out of the Depression? What's your metric here? Chaos or just blind loyalty? How do you even justify that?
Yeah, actually, Trump's the best because he's the first president in modern times to actually go up against the deep state. And he actually was the first and only whistleblower to put Epstein in jail for pedophilia. And then now he's created these tariffs that actually created the best United States economy in history in his first term. And now he's going to do it again in the second term, not to mention, he's decoupling the entire deep state bureaucratic system from government so then it can probably breathe a lot better and put everything back into the state.
Deep state. You're buying into that conspiracy nonsense? Trump didn't go up against any shadow cabal. He just pissed off everyone who didn't kiss his ring.
Well, yeah, wouldn't you be pissed off if I didn't kiss your ring?
What? If you didn't kiss my ring? I just think you're too smart to grovel, not pissed off like some toddler who didn't get his way. Trump threw tantrums when people didn't bow down. That's not strength, it's insecurity. You still haven't explained how he's the best ever. Tariffs don't mean squat if the economy's built on quicksand. What's your proof his economy was the greatest? Numbers, not feelings.
Yeah, like, didn't the egg price just drop 51%?
Egg prices. That's your big proof?
This thing is argumentative as shit. That's hilarious. That's good. Well, that's actually a great example of arguing with, libtard handicapped people like Trolley, where it's like, it's just continually going to be argumentative and not ever be like, damn, that was a good point right there. Okay, hold on. I'll find something else to, argue about. Yeah, right. That was interesting. So thank you very much here for showing on up to the TrutherCast. If you made it this long, God bless you, man. So make sure to share it out to a friend, a family member, or maybe even one of those people you call a foe. And, maybe we'll double the viewership for next week, folks. But, just share that out for us. If you want to do some other shit, there's like some links down below. The free way just to do it, man. You don't even got to pay no money. Post to like wherever you want. You could text somebody, you could post it on X. The possibilities are limitless. There really ain't many excuses. There's one limit. Don't post it. And then I'm not even gonna say it. It's limitless. Post it anywhere. Maybe hit that thumbs up button too. Thumbs ups are fun. You gotta have one person to thumbs down it because then it looks real. It's like having a business. There's always gonna be a bitcher, a whiner, a complainer. Bro, I can't believe that timeline on that shit, bro. That was wild. It's back though. It's back. No. Nah, it ain't back. This is an extension that people load in. Yeah, just Rumble. Rumble is just so authentic. You just need to fix the little bugs still, Rumble. But YouTube still has the. They still have the code for the thumbs down, so you can load an extension in your browser and it actually shows it to you. Oh, big news! I didn't think about. Nerdy. Big inside baseball into the news space, the alternate news space that's taken over, right? Rumble has now announced Rumble something, I forget the name of it. It's like a channel, so it's like full circle, bro. We're going back to TV. So they're gonna have a full daily news feed And Crowder is announcing that he's no longer going to stream the live show on YouTube. And then Tim Pool is going to do his noon show, not on YouTube. And then it's going to be Viva La Fry, Russell Brand, and then the Quartering. But it's like a whole, everybody teamed up together, and they're all going to do a bang, 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 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. And then like Twitch, I don't know if you're familiar about rating, but like the person is going to then put his whole audience into the upcoming show and be like, now go watch this guy. Pretty cool, dude. And then the 9 and the 10 o'clock slot are some people I don't even effing know, but they were like co-workers with Dan Bonajingo. I got this sweetheart customer, man. She's awesome. And that's how she says it. And it's one of those like, I think it's Bongino, but like, and then she kept saying it. So then I'm like, nah, man, I'm not even going to try and correct that shit. She's like, Dan Bonajingo. You're muted? Oh, shoot.
That was when you were hitting all your hyphens to Grok and everything, probably. Oh, man. Oh, well, that's all right.
As long as I don't mute myself, everybody, that's all good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the death.
Even if your mic was muted, you'd still be heard.
The world centers around me. I just want you to know that. So,
all right, that's another
thank
show.
you very much, folks, y'all.
I gotta get going.
Have a good one. We'll see you on the next one. We got a 2. We got a 1. We got a all right.
All right.
Oh.